Do you guys know funny man Seth MacFarlane, the creator of some of these just amazing, great shows? Family Guy, American Dad, The Cleveland Show.
Oh, please, Roberta. That's less convincing than the time I had to use the bathroom at R. Kelly's house.
Flush?
Now, if you guys do like Seth MacFarlane shows like I do, excluding The Cleveland Show, then I think you might enjoy this video. Because today, I want to talk about why I think American Dad is easily the best out of all of his shows. Now, I know Seth MacFarlane isn't nearly as hands-on with American Dad as he is with like Family Guy or as he was with The Cleveland Show or the TED TV show, but I still consider it a show that he, had some involvement with. So therefore, it counts. If you don't count it, that's on you. I don't really care. I just want to talk and glaze American Dad because it's really just a great show. After watching literally every single episode this summer, I can honestly say it was a great watch. And I just want to make a video talking about it. So if you have an issue with me considering this a Seth MacFarlane show, even though he doesn't have nearly as much hands-on involvement, you should just go ahead and click off now because this video might not be for you. With that being said, let's just go ahead and get right into it.
A therapist? Sounds expensive. What if I told you I could smoke her out of her room for a fraction of the cost?
Stan, what were you thinking?
Well, first I thought I'd smoke her out with a controlled fire. Then I lit the fire. Then I thought, I don't know how to control fire.
Okay, my favorite part about American Dad is how the plot slowly progresses into more and more insane territory as the episode goes on. Now, the only other show that I can say from memory that also kind of follows this same format of it just gets worse and worse and crazier as the episode progresses is Regular Show. Like, in a Regular Show episode or even an American Dad episode, the plot starts off pretty grounded or pretty just basic. And then as the episode progresses, things get more and more absurd as things go on. For example, one of my favorite American Dad episodes is the home security episode where Francine wants to get a security system so they can feel more safe in the house. And to convince Francine that they need to get a better security system, Stan breaks into the house and, pretends to be a robber to scare Francine.
Now that's the fear I wanted when I was telling you we needed a better security system.
Oh man, we got them but good.
I feel like something about the progression of, okay, we want a security system, and then, okay, Stan breaks into the house and scares everybody, to then, okay, I'm gonna build a security system myself, and the security system that Stan builds has a mounted turret on the roof, to, okay, then finally, the final progression is Stan builds a security system that wants to actively kill him because it perceives him as a threat to Francine. Like, I don't know, something about that is just so interesting to me that the plot can start off kind of basic and then just derail into something so absurd. That's like my favorite aspect of the comedy. Now, don't get me wrong, they also do some pretty interesting joke structures in the episodes that I personally find hilarious. Not every single bit of the comedy from American Dad is purely derived from the episodes getting crazier and crazier as it progresses. They also just tell regular jokes like any other Seth MacFarlane show. My favorite part about American Dad's comedy is that it does not overly rely on the cutaway gag. Unlike Family Guy and the Cleveland Show that use the cutaway gag basically as every single joke structure, American Dad doesn't always do it, but when they do, I feel like it's funnier than Family Guy, in my personal opinion. I feel like when American Dad does do a cutaway gag, it's funnier. Don't get me wrong, this is all subjective, and I'm not saying that objectively American Dad's a funnier show, no. I'm saying in my personal opinion, I consider the cutaway gags in American Dad to be superior to the cutaway gags in Family Guy. Because in Family Guy, I feel like they use it so often that it kind of loses its spark. Like, you're expecting every joke to be a cutaway gag when it comes to Family Guy. But in American Dad, when it's used more sparingly, when they do a cutaway that's just absolutely insane and comes out of nowhere, you weren't really expecting it, and it's actually funny. Now, see, I don't know, like Cleveland Show. The Cleveland Show just sucks. I'm going to be honest with you. That could be a whole video in and of itself as to why I hate that show. But I feel like when you compare American Dad to the Cleveland Show in terms of comedy, they're really not comparable because the Cleveland Show isn't funny, in my personal opinion. Now, with that being said, my basic conclusion of American Dad is that American Dad is definitely funnier due to how it's written and these characters slowly progress into more and more insanity as the episode progresses, and I find that hilarious. Now, if you don't find that hilarious, that's, subjective. I don't really care. If you don't find that funny, that's your personal comedy. I personally find some of the just progressions that American Dad has to be just insanely funny, like the hot tub episode or any other episode where it starts off normal and just progresses into complete just buttfuck insanity. So with that being said, I kind of want to move over to my next talking point about American Dad and why I like it more, and that's the characters.
Dad, good to see you. Still committing to the ape body, I see.
The ape uprising is coming, Hayley, and I'll be ready when it does.
I don't even know which character I want to start with talking about first because I love all of them so much. But, we got to go over the main cast of Steve, Hayley, Francine, Stan, Jeff. I don't know. Do we count Jeff? Do we? I think we do. Roger and Klaus. Now, honestly, we're going to start off with Stan because Stan is definitely the second favorite character in the entire show for me. Roger's definitely first, but I really do like Stan as a character. Stan is a CIA agent who goes on missions, stops terrorists, and is absolutely just a badass. He's really cool. He does a lot of cool stuff throughout the show, like stopping terrorists, going to foreign countries and destabilizing them. He was even a terrorist himself in one episode. So it's like, wow, this character is pretty funny. He does a lot of different things. Francine fulfills the housewife role probably better than Lois in my personal opinion, because you can tell Francine actually cares about Stan and loves him and treats him with respect and doesn't go out of her way to screw him over every possible chance she gets and actually cares about her kids. Unlike Lois, who at every opportunity she gets, she just absolutely dunks on Meg and screws her over and hates on her. Also, she cheats on Peter a lot, which is like, I don't know, do the writers at Family Guy have some weird cuck fetish where they want to see Peter get cheated on constantly? Has anybody else noticed that? I know this is like a really weird tangent, but has anybody else noticed that the Family Guy writers love writing these subplots about Lois just cheating on Peter with random dudes? Am I tripping? I don't know. The next character that I want to talk about is Steve, because honestly, Steve is definitely up there. His actor that plays him is a great singer, so that's a great thing to have with his character, that he likes to sing. And he has some of the best singing segments in the entire show. Like, honestly, the Daddy's Gone song in that one episode about the hot tub, which was already a really good episode in and of itself, having a really nice Steve singing segment with Roger was pretty cool in my opinion. Speaking of Roger, Roger is an alien, and, he's a pretty funny alien. He likes to dress up like different characters to, pretend to be human. Some of my favorites probably being Ricky Spanish and his exorcist character from that one episode, the like paranormal orgasm thingy or whatever. That was a pretty good episode. Jesus, you should definitely watch that if you haven't. But I like Roger the most in the show because honestly, I feel like he does the best job of just making you laugh, because Roger's just funny. Like he's just funny. He's able to just change the entire tone of an episode just by appearing, because he can literally do whatever he wants. He can be whoever he wants, and they can do a lot of different things with him. He can be a variety of different characters for whatever the plot needs him to be. And I don't know, Roger's just really interesting. I love the way that his voice is like done by Seth MacFarlane. I think it's pretty funny. And yeah, so, Roger's great. Jeff is a stoner hippie who's married to Hayley, Stan and Francine's daughter. And Jeff is pretty cool. Jeff is fine. I don't have a problem with Jeff. He's pretty funny sometimes. He has his moments. His whole, space arc I wasn't really interested in, but it was definitely something that happened. Hayley is also a stoner who dropped out of college like twice. She works at a sub shop. She's definitely funny. Oh my God. Hayley has some really good moments. People don't give her enough credit. Hayley definitely has some moments in the show where she's just absolutely funny. Like, I think some of her episodes with Jeff recently where they just kind of do stupid stuff together are hilarious. Like the episode where Hayley doesn't like Jeff, so she wants him to get smarter. And then when he does, they break up or whatever. I like that episode. It's pretty good. And then finally, we have Klaus. Klaus is their goldfish who has the brain of a human inside of him. I don't like Klaus. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't find Klaus funny. He's really boring, but, I kind of like the fact that he's like their Meg insert. They just kind of like dump on Klaus all the time for no real reason. He doesn't really deserve it. Most of the time, I just feel pretty bad for Klaus. But then Klaus has those episodes where it's like you deserve everything that you get because you're kind of a dick. So that's pretty much everything I have to say about the characters. If we directly compare them to like their Family Guy alternates, you could say, I would say that for the most part, everybody's better than their Family Guy counterpart. I think Stan's better than Peter. I think Francine's better than Lois. I definitely think that Steve is better than Chris. And I definitely think Hayley's better than Meg. Then we're comparing like Klaus and Roger to Brian and Stewie. let's be real here. Brian and Stewie are definitely better. Let's not even pretend like they're not. They're definitely better. But yeah, these characters are pretty great. Like, I really love how they play off each other, and I feel like they actually feel like a family that cares about each other. Even though they have their ups and downs, they always come together in the end and show that they truly do love each other. Unlike another family sitcom.
We need to aim for the soft spot on baby Hitler's head. One direct hit there, and we can still prevent the Holocaust. You killed my grandparents, you bastard!
And finally, I want to talk about some of the American Dad specials. My favorite specials being the Christmas specials where they're at war with Santa Claus. I'm pretty sure it's 3 of them. The first one starts off with Steve killing Santa Claus. They go to war. Then there's like a second one. I forgot what happens in the second one. Oh my god, it's been so long. And then the third one is like them fighting Santa Claus because he wants to like raise a demon or some deity, and he dies. Those are really good. I also like the Krampus Christmas specials where, you know, Stan's dad becomes Krampus and they realize that maybe Stan's dad isn't that bad of a person after all. But he kind of is, because he was really bad to Stan as a kid. But those are some of the best specials in my personal opinion. I also really like the Rapture special. I don't really know if we can consider that a special episode, but I do. I consider that a real special because that's a really good episode in my opinion. The Rapture episode is pretty great. On top of that, I also really did like the little special where they were doing the whole theme park thing or whatever. That was pretty cool. The Hurricane special, that was like supposed to be a crossover with American Dad and Cleveland show. American Dad easily did it the best out of the other 2 shows. The Family Guy one was that one episode where Meg like got upset and started yelling at her family, and like the whole theme or the ending plot was, you know, Meg, you gotta take the abuse so the family stays together. And then the Cleveland show one, I don't even remember. I just don't like the Cleveland show. I'm pretty sure I've said that enough this episode. The Hurricane special might actually be the second best American Dad special in my opinion. I kind of just like how everything progresses, and it goes from like, okay, it's a storm to a flood to the house being flipped upside down to Stan throwing a spear and stabbing Francine. It was just such a great episode. That's one you have to watch. If you take anything away from this video, go watch the Hurricane episode of American Dad. It's really good. But I just wanted to say that you can really tell that American Dad puts a lot of love and care into their specials, especially the semi-recent Halloween one where the cast go and look for Stan because he didn't come home from work and they dress up like the Scooby-Doo crew. That's a really good episode. That's another one you should definitely watch. But yeah, you can tell that the American Dad crew really takes the special seriously, and they put a lot of time and care into them because they are easily some of the best episodes throughout the series. Dang, I almost forgot about the hot tub episode. I don't know if we consider that one a special. I kind of do because it doesn't have a B plot. I consider any episode that's purely a plot, in my personal opinion, a special because it's just one long plot going on for 30 minutes. But if you don't, that's fair. I definitely think the hot tub episode should be considered a special. That's a really good episode, especially with CeeLo's singing and the whole "Daddy's Gone" song that you've seen all over TikTok. So with that being said, American Dad specials, really good. You should go watch some of them. They are amazing.
You want to see me dance, sire?
No, not really.
Are you sure? Because it looks something like this. Zoo, zoo, zooby, zooby, zoo.
And we're finally to the end of the video. And now that we're here, I have one last thing I would like to say before we wrap things up in this little 13-minute adventure that we've gone on. If you guys have taken anything away from this video, go check out American Dad. Go find your own opinion. If you don't agree with me, you should still go check out American Dad, because American Dad is a great watch. Every single episode is pretty good. I don't think I can name too many bad episodes off the top of my head, and it's definitely a funny watch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The channel growth has been absolutely absurd recently, and I just want to say thank you guys, everybody that comes back and watches, everybody that subscribed, and everybody that comments, likes, or whatever. You guys are great, and I love you guys. I really love doing YouTube. It's like my kind of escape from, you know, reality. Just doing this is fun. It helps me with, like, you know, mental health. You know, I just like getting on YouTube and just ranting about things. Yeah, so if you guys do enjoy the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Don't forget to subscribe to the second channel. My bad. Bye.